Yeah, it's a good question. It's definitely a lot different than it was 6 months ago when I got back into real estate. I think now, today, the South Florida market has cooled off a little bit. Um, the prices have stabilized. It's not a downturn. I'm expecting more of a correction in prices not skyrocketing like they have in the 3, 4, 5 last years. So the equity play there is a little bit, it's harder to find, but there are some opportunities that we're seeing in the condo market, believe it or not.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kessel, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to chatting with, Mike Del Fierro, who's been making serious moves as a South Florida real estate expert behind the Del Fierro Group. So excited to have you on the show today, Mike.
Thanks, Michelle. Happy to be here.
Of course. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching helping buyers, sellers, and investors navigate the South Florida market. So let's dive in.
Awesome.
First off, for those who are not yet familiar with you and your world, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah, absolutely. Our main focus here at the Del Fierro Group is to help buyers and sellers, specifically a lot of investors, with navigating the real estate market here in South Florida, to making sure that they have a smooth transaction and ensuring that they are set up for success, from not just finding properties, but also making sure that the properties are profitable after purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you get started in your real estate career?
So it was interesting. That's a good question. I didn't take the straight path to becoming a real estate agent. I actually got my license back in '05, '06, right before the bubble. And that's when I was first licensed and made a few sales, helped a few people find their first home. And then I ended up going into the corporate world when the bubble hit in '08, '09. And I went into the corporate world um, to sell software, actually. I was in sales, marketing, and customer service, played, kind of bounced around a couple different roles at some Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. I was fortunate enough to learn a lot over my 12-year corporate career. And just this year, I joined my family's real estate practice at Del Fierro Group due to my dad having some health issues. He's a broker. Been doing it for about almost 17 years. So it was everything kind of aligned. So I came back in, got licensed again, and here I am leading the family practice in real estate transactions here in South Florida. Me personally, I've never lost my love of real estate. Over the years as a corporate employee, I invested myself. And so it's been a nice kind of re-entry into the real estate world this year.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, amazing. That's cool that you were able to find your way back into the real estate world. Awesome. So, what have been some of the major keys that have allowed your real estate career to be able to grow and to run smoothly?
Yeah, so like I said, this is my about 6th or 7th month full time again as a realtor leading the family practice. What has set up our family practice for success, and the longevity that my family's had in the business is really it's about relationships. And a lot of our business is repeat business. A lot of our customers come back to us, um, whether they're, you know, their family's growing and they have more kids, or they're downsizing, or they're looking for an investment property. Um, those folks always come back to us because we treated them fairly, honestly, and we treat them as family, right? So that's purchasing real estate is usually one of the largest purchases somebody's going to make, whether it's an investment or whatnot. So they want to make sure that they can trust and really making sure that the real estate agent is looking out on their best interests. So that I think has been a key for us in staying within the real estate industry this long, is the ability to have customers come back to us, refer us to their family. And on the investor side, we we work a lot with international buyers. So the international buyers typically speak to each other. Like if they're in a certain demographic, like in South America, maybe they're in Santiago, Chile, and they are all kind of in that network. And they say, "Hey, I've got a good real estate agent in South Florida who's helped me invest, and it's a profitable rental income purchase for them." And then that's how things kind of just snowball and grow from there. Is the ability to develop those relationships and those trusts within the industry, within those groups.
Yeah, absolutely. That's important. Relationships are everything in this space. Are there sort of networking or marketing strategies that you have found supported you in getting behind these groups and connecting to more people?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just doing local networking events, because we want to know what's happening in our backyard, right? We want to know whether the city of Miami has any plans for redevelopment or opportunity zones, special tax incentives. So we want to be at the ground level, going to the city commission meetings, maybe to chamber meetings, and speaking to our local councilmen, mayors, congresswomen, to understand what the city has plans for in terms of raising the economic whole development of that city or that area. So in addition to that, we also have relationships and events that we do internationally, whether it's through podcasts, through radio shows, other types of social media outlets that we can get ourselves out there and then interact with people that are not in our backyard, but our investor have that investor mindset and want to be able to speak to somebody who's a local expert.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
In addition to that, speaking about relationships, we have relationships with financial advisors, insurance agents, other types of investment professionals throughout South America, for example, who refer us business, refer us people who are looking to diversify their portfolio of investments and want to get into some real assets like real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome that you guys are putting all of those efforts in to grow your network. What are you most focused on solving or scaling to next in your business?
Good question. For us and me personally, since joining the team, the family practice was really the effort has been to um, optimize our systems and processes so we can make sure that we're not letting anything slip through the cracks, whether it's a customer request, whether it's a new lead coming in, whether it's keeping our customer base informed about the market, like interest rates, certain micro markets within our area. So our ability to keep our network informed has been really my primary objective in the last 6 months to really set the groundwork to be able to scale up. So systems and processes has been my focus for the first 3 to 6 months. Now that that's starting to kind of smooth out a little bit, now we're focusing on generating content, getting educational material out there to our network so they're aware of any road pits that they need to be aware of when investing in real estate.
Yeah, amazing. That's really important. Love that you guys are focused on that. So, every business owner has moments where maybe a deal goes sideways or you have to make some fast pivots. Would you mind sharing a moment like that that you've experienced and how you overcame it?
Yeah, I mean, are you referring to like when you're in the middle of a transaction or middle of a deal and something happens? Is that what you're
Yeah,
referring to? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, those happen in real estate transactions. That's common, right? You always have to prepare for contingencies, for things that could happen, could go wrong. You got to have a backup plan. So that's why having um, proven professionals working alongside you during that transaction is so critical, right? From good title people to making sure that there's nothing wrong with the properties, the title of the property, to if it's a finance deal, making sure that the lenders keeping really the job of me as a real estate professional once that property is identified as a potential good investment is really to be the quarterback, the coordinator to making sure that the transaction runs smoothly. When something comes up, maybe it's an appraisal, didn't come in at the right, maybe it came in low. We have to make sure that we're prepared and informing all of the people, all of the interested parties about that and talk about a game plan to overcome it, whether that's coming to the table with more cash or speaking to the seller to seeing if there's a middle ground there. Um, Most of the time, it's usually an appraisal that's come in a little bit low, or maybe an inspection that raised some red flags, and you kind of got to make sure that you're communicating effectively and clearly to all the parties interested.
yeah, absolutely. That's always important. So, when it comes to the investors in your world, how specifically do you support them? Are there certain strategies that you work with them on, or what does that process look like?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So when we speak to investors, we want to make sure that we understand their goals and their objectives and how that's going to align up with their current situation, right? So we got to make sure that we're aligning our property search to meet their goals, right? So what I mean by that is, for example, a lot of our investors want to buy a property and they want to put it on Airbnb or Verbo, right? They want to do short-term rentals. But today in our market, especially in South Florida, for example, in Miami Beach, there's a lot of cities have put in these ordinances that you got to get licensed. If you're going to do an Airbnb less than 30-day rental, more than 3 times a year, you got to have a license. And in some cities, they won't even let you do it, right? So you got to make sure if you're focusing on short-term rentals, that the areas that you're focused on allow for that, number one. And if you're not focused on that and you're looking maybe for a combination of short-term and long-term rentals, then you got to focus on those areas that allow that. So obviously location is still number one in real estate. So depending on where the investors want to invest, we present them with the opportunities that are there in that area to see if it aligns with their goals. Um, and then making sure that the investors know that we have the network, because it's not just finding the right property, but it's also finding the right team from day one. When you buy a property from an investor friendly agent or an investor experienced agent, you're not just buying a property, you're tapping into a network that took years to build, a network of contractors who are reliable, who, you have property managers that can do proper tenant screening. You have to make sure that you have an investor friendly lender for future deals, if that's the case. And then you also need to make sure that you have an insurance person that understands rental coverage. So there's a lot of professionals that are in our network that have been vetted out over the years and that we trust. So when we go to the table and present, hey, here's a good property and here's our team behind it, they can rest assured that it's going to be a profitable investment, not just this year, but for years to come. What we see a lot of times is investors who are starting out for the first time, they try to develop these relationships in a short amount of time, and they end up seeing those returns diminish because maybe they can't find a contractor who's reliable, right? Or they're charging higher prices. Or maybe they have a property manager that is not doing proper tenant screenings that can leave you open to risk. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, not just finding the right location.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome that you guys are supporting people throughout that whole journey and have all those pieces laid out. When it comes to the Florida market, like how is that looking for investors when it comes to their return? Like, how do you kind of see the state of the market right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's definitely a lot different than it was 6 months ago when I got back into real estate. I think now, today, the South Florida market has cooled off a little bit. Um, the prices have stabilized. It's not a it's not a downturn. I'm expecting more of a correction in prices not skyrocketing like they have in the 3, 4, 5 last years. So the equity play there is a little bit, it's harder to find, but there are some opportunities that we're seeing in the condo market, believe it or not, now that the dust has settled from all the state legislation that passed after the Surfside collapse. So a lot of the condos that are 3 stories or higher had to get insurance, had to get the inspections done, had to get all these extra things done, and the assessments were placed on all the homeowners within those condos. Now all of that has been settled, and we're seeing condo prices kind of almost, stabilize and go down a little bit. So there's actually a buying opportunity right now, we feel like, in the condo market because people who want to sell, who need to sell, are are considering reasonable offers. Now, there's a caveat to that. You got to make sure that if you're an investor looking at condos in South Florida or anywhere in Florida, you got to make sure that you're looking at the financials, meaning the insurance, the HOA fees, and making sure that there are no assessments coming down the pipe because those can really kill a deal, can kill your profits. So doesn't matter that you're getting a great deal on the purchase price, but if those HOA fees and assessments are going to put an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month payment on that, then that could really, really diminish your return. So that's on the condo side. On the single family home side, believe it or not, in Miami-Dade and Broward and Palm Beach, the prices have pretty much have gone up a little bit, about 1.7% specifically in Miami-Dade from year over year. Residential single family homes have actually ticked up a little bit. So that's a good sign. So it's a healthy market. Not a lot of inventory in the single family homes side, but there are a lot of inventory available in the condo side right now. So that's where I think there's some buying opportunities. We, as a group, as a family, we are looking more at land right now. So we're buying up dirt in different areas of Florida specifically through different avenues. So we actually we purchased a lot of our vacant lots through tax deed auctions that are done by the county, and that's a whole nother process in itself that really takes a lot of due diligence.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome that you guys are also taking part in developing and, yeah, working on new land projects. That's exciting.
Yeah, no, it is. It's buying up the dirt is a good way to kind of get your feet into the real estate investing side of things. It's a little less capital required, not as much complications involved because you're not dealing with a home, less stuff to worry about, and you can kind of get in from the ground up, no pun intended.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So, before we wrap up here, if somebody wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people find you and connect?
Yeah, so people can find us on our website. We have a beautiful website that we just launched a few months ago. It's delfierrogroup.com. And on there has all our social media channels. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. And I would suggest that any of your listeners follow us on YouTube, TikTok, because we're putting out content all the time for investors and buyers in and sellers in the real estate market. And it's really evergreen content. It's content that is not just good for today, it's good for years from now. It's really a foundational educational content that we're trying to educate our network about um, investing in real estate.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Michelle, thank you so much for allowing me to share our story and our passion for real estate. It's one of if you look at it, just search the internet about real estate investing. It's one of the proven strategies for Americans to build wealth. Whether you're that first time buyer or an investor looking for rentals or flips, real estate investing is one of the best ways to build wealth in the United States. Um, and diversifying that portfolio of stocks and bonds and things like that is always a good strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Mm, Sure. For the listeners tuning into the show, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Mike who are building real businesses, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.